Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is the day that we are finally diving into my Function Health Lab results that I've been talking about since the beginning of January. And I know it may at times in this video seem a tad overkill, but this was really important to me and I really wanted to get this done. And you might be also asking, why do you need over 100 biomarkers checked? When I say it out loud, it does sound crazy, but trust me, there's a lot more to it than you might think. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to, like and subscribe, the normal spiel that we always say in the start of the videos. But first, if you're new to my channel, I started my weight loss journey back in March of 2023. I was prescribed Mounjaro. Yes, at the time it was prescribed off-label for obesity management, really with my ultimate goal to lose weight and just improve my overall health markers. I've lost around 90 pounds. And even though I've had, some blood work done, the normal panels over the years, I never felt it was comprehensive enough. And it wasn't until, I say late last year, did I start learning more and more about, metabolic health and wanting to just look over all of my past lab results, what was missed, why didn't I know about these things, and just trying to understand my state of metabolic dysfunction, when did it start? And brief health history, I had Graves' disease when I was 22, then I did the radioactive iodine treatment to shock it, started levothyroxine. Then I had salivary gland cancer at 26, and I just, I've always had weight struggles for over 20 years and never understood, why was I always hungry and I craved sugar 24/7. And then, as I hit my 40s, the weight really started to creep up. And that's when I started to really have not just elevated blood pressure, but very high blood pressure. I had migraines, some cholesterol concerns. And even though I was always active, I know my eating habits were, my biggest downfall. But when I started my weight loss journey, I told myself that this was going to be it. It was time to figure it out. Don't put a limit on, how long it'll take. Just take it day by day. And that's what I did. And I really honestly wouldn't change a thing that I did over the past 23 months. I can't believe I'm coming up on 2 years. But not only did I lose 90 pounds, but let's say I decreased my BMI from 37.5 to 23.9, body fat percentage from 48.4 to 27.4, and two of my favorite biomarkers, visceral fat from 18 to 8, and my current muscle mass is in the excellent range, 111.6, and we know muscle mass increases. When you increase your muscle mass, you're able to burn more calories. And I think seeing those numbers, it's rewarding, and it always just, kept me showing up every day to, lift at the gym, get my steps in, along with, just following my macros. But I really believe that's only like a small part of the story, and I felt there were some unknowns that I wanted to get tested and just make sure my body was really just functioning properly and get rid of those unknowns. Because instead of just focusing on, that number on the scale or, those limited biomarkers that I have to beg my doctor to put the lab requests in for and he would order for me, I wanted to just see that bigger picture of my body as a whole. So what is Function Health? And I want to just say quickly, they aim to bring together, routine whole lab, testing from the world's top doctors. And it's just your first step in really just helping pursue a lifetime avoiding disease and just feeling your ultimate best. I'm not sponsored by them. I spent my own hard-earned money, but I made sure that I also timed it when I was, at FSA money, and I can tap into some of those pre-tax dollars just to, save a little bit. And you also might be wondering, as I said before, why over 100 biomarkers checked? And really, that is a great question. And sometimes I ask myself that every once in a while. But just so you know, biomarkers are basically measurable indicators in your body that show, how well things are working at a cellular level. These could be things like, your cholesterol, glucose, hormones, even inflammation markers that I don't think I've ever really truly had tested. But, checking this wide range of these biomarkers, the doctors I work with and my personal doctor, they can really get a clearer picture, more detailed picture of my overall health. And, this isn't just about spotting a problem. It's about understanding how everything is connected and working together and just really focused on me and my system. So why does this matter to me? I think just checking a bunch of biomarkers really gives me a few major benefits like early detection. you can't like catch potential health issues before you even have any symptoms. And I think the biggest is just personalized health advice. You want to get tailored recommendations specific to you and, really your body's needs. And then there's the big thing of prevention. You want to identify risk factors early so you can take action to just prevent, future health problems. And really optimization is the last one. And just to make sure everything is running at its best, physically and also mentally. I think the bottom line is it's all about getting this full picture so that I can just live my healthiest life finally. So I had 2 rounds of blood work done in January, and it took a couple weeks for all the results to come in and then for me to receive that full detailed report of, what each result means and really what I can do to improve them, including, foods to limit or make sure I have these foods in my diet along with, supplementation recommendations. It's all recommendations catered to my results. But I think my favorite result, and then really where I want to start, is the biological age, because I was so excited for this number. So biological age measures how well your body is functioning, compared to your actual chronological age, which is the number of years you've been alive. I think we all know what that is. And while chronological age is simply the number of years since, you were born, biological age reflects the condition of your cells and your tissues and organs, and it takes into account, various factors such as genetics, lifestyle, overall health to just determine how well, your body is aging. And by assessing my biomarkers, such as, the inflammation levels, the hormone balance, cardiovascular health, and so much more, it gave me insights into the areas where, my health may be aging faster than expected. And more importantly, it really can highlight things that I can do to reverse or slow down that aging process. Nothing super extreme, but I had a biological age of 33.4, which is 11 and a half years younger than my real age. And if it was higher, then that would be indicative of, say, an increased risk of, diseases associated with prediabetes, type 2, cardiovascular disease, cancer, cognitive decline, dementia, kidney failure, hormonal imbalances, muscle and bone loss, autoimmunity. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I just wish I had this done before I first started, because I know in my gut, I was a lot older than my real age. I started at 253 pounds. I'm 5'9". That wasn't my highest weight. In the month before, I was 261. But this biomarker confirmed that all of the hard work is paying off and is improving my health really for the long term. So let's break down some more of my recent test results just so I can provide you a clear picture of my health and also some areas that I know will need attention. So first, my cardiovascular health showed some areas of concern. I had elevated small LDL particles, which can be a risk for heart disease, and a slightly, lower HDL, which is your good cholesterol. So this combination could reduce, the protective effect on my heart. Additionally, my thyroid antibodies were slightly elevated, which could indicate an autoimmune risk. But they said there was really nothing I needed to worry about that right now because of all the other, results played into it. And then a positive note, my metabolic health was in excellent shape. Insulin, glucose, A1C levels, all within that normal healthy range, which shows great blood sugar management, along with my cortisol levels. They were in the normal range, but yes, it was slightly on the higher side of normal. So I'm going to continue to monitor and try to improve that number, really in hopes of just, my thing is better sleep. And kidney and liver function is strong. My electrolytes were well balanced, which, we know helps support muscle and nerve health. So I guess all of those months of drinking my electrolytes every single morning, that's how I start the morning, is paying off, and it was in a perfect range. Then there was the sex hormone binding globulin. I'm going to pronounce that wrong. It was higher than normal, which can affect, hormone availability, particularly for muscle building, which is like my number one thing. So really, while most of my results are looking great, I still needed to focus on improving cholesterol levels and managing the SHBG to optimize muscle growth. But the good news is that I think with like a few targeted lifestyle changes, like just making some slight adjustments to my diet to increase omega-3 fatty acids, boosting, HDL levels with consistent physical activity, they can have a big difference. Plus, it's important to for me to keep monitoring my thyroid levels. I'm going to consult with my doctor in case I need to just make any adjustments in that area. But really outside of those health, heart health concerns, I looked at my prior lipid panels that I did a couple months ago and I compared it to this, and there was a slight, decrease. So it was heading in the right direction. And, even though my, results showed metabolic health in great shape, like I said, the insulin, A1C, and glucose levels all in that healthy range, which I keep, is that excellent glucose management, which is really important and a low risk of insulin resistance. My diet and active lifestyle, I really think are what's paying off and helping. But there was this one area of concern, which was my leptin levels are lower than expected. And I was like, what is leptin? And so that's a hormone that helps regulate appetite and energy balance. I've never heard of leptin levels before. And its main job is managing energy expenditure and telling your brain to stop eating, which I think is interesting because even as I'm taking tirzepatide, I still struggle to get full appetite suppression or even just appetite suppression in general. And so I was like, okay, low levels can also be linked to low body fat, which I know I do not have, unbalanced exercise or diet, which I don't think I do, but I'm going to take a closer look at the foods that I'm eating. And I'm really going to just rely heavily on my Lumen insights. And, even conditions like fatty liver and abnormal cholesterol can affect leptin levels, which we know that I need to improve my heart biomarkers. So, that said, I'm confident that I really am on the right track with my current diet and exercise routine. I take, tirzepatide. I also take levothyroxine for my thyroid. And I really think I have a great supplement stack, nothing overwhelming. So I'm like, where do I go from here? I really want to deep dive more into my action plan, like, taking my time like I did with Mounjaro 2 years ago. I don't want to overthink this. I don't want to change everything up because I feel like I do have a very well-balanced diet. I have a great workout plan with 4 days of strength training and the others just filled with cardio. Like, I love low-impact walking. But what I will show you is my top 5 foods, and I'm going to scroll through the list of foods that I enjoy. I just can't stomach salmon. And I know that is a huge thing for omega-3s. And I now have this amazing wireless meat thermometer so that I know things are cooked perfectly. I might give it a go again, but I also realized as I was scrolling through it that I do eat a lot of these foods, and they also have been recommended for my Lumen food list. But there's a limit food list, and I was surprised that I saw cow's milk on it. And I want to just explore a little bit more into why I would need to limit that. Is it anything to do with my biomarkers, or is that just something they recommend in general? Because I love my cottage cheese and, my occasional pieces of cheese or shredded cheese on some tacos. But it says limit. It doesn't say avoid. But I want to learn more, and that's the point of having this done because it gave me this personalized also list of supplements. I already know I take an amazing multivitamin from Thorne. It does include biotin, but I want to learn more about the ALA and berberine. But at this time, I've decided I'm not taking an omega-3 supplement. That's a personal choice. But I want to try to improve my heart health via, my diet this time because I'm seeing those numbers starting to trend down. But I am so happy. Yes, I paid a couple $100s for this. I really wish that I could have convinced my doctor to order these tests through insurance, but I'm sure I would have paid the same amount anyway, out of pocket, because I probably didn't hit my deductible by the time he would put the blood work in. But I think just looking at all of these biomarkers that I had treated, over 109 of them, I think it gave me a good viewpoint into my own health. And I think there's no more unknowns. But I really, honestly, I can't wait to apply what I learned. And I'm going to have follow-up blood work again in 6 months. It's all part of the yearly package. And I'll be able to compare it to the ones I just had in January. Also, I was happy to see all the nutrients tested were in normal range. So that means, personally, that my multivitamin is working. along with, what I'm eating and my consistent workout routine. I think figuring out sometimes supplements can be really hard. And, sometimes you're like, do I really need this? And knowing that I have that full panel and everything I'm doing right now is working is great. And I'm happy that my vitamin D levels were in normal range. That is a huge learn about vitamin D and the impact on your body. But they also have some more advanced testing that I'm going to look into maybe next year. But I loved having this amazing snapshot at my health at this current time. No more guessing. And I could have spent hours in this video going through and summarizing each item tested. What does it mean? What's good versus bad, and all the information. It was so extensive. It's not a knock on my doctor, but I would get a response when like a certain level is slightly out of range, and it would be like, oh, let's just monitor it. We'll retest it in 3 months. And I would have to Google and learn, what the result really means to me and how does it impact me and how can I help it. And I think now I want to just be a better advocate for my health, and I just want to learn more. But I will put a link below with a referral code if you want to if you sign up or you just want to take a look. The code is in the description below. I just highly recommend taking a look at it, learning about the different tests that they offer, maybe talk to your doctor. But if you did find this video helpful, take a minute, hit that like button, subscribe. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever thought about getting, a full comprehensive health check done like this, or if you had it done. And also, have you ever heard of leptin levels? Because that seems like something we should really know more about. And I am going to learn more about it because it impacts our appetite and our hunger cues. So I'm going to spend some time researching that, probably go down a rabbit hole that I don't need to go down. But I want to thank you so much for making it this far in this video. I will see you in my next video. Have a good one. Bye.